Ah, but with their annual irrigation maintenance plans, you never have to pay for another service charge or broken sprinkler head ever again, regardless of the fault.
So that means I break it, they fix it.
That's what I said, Mr. Genius.
Okay, you win. How do I sign up?
I thought you'd never ask. Call Mike Scott Plumbing today and ask about their irrigation maintenance plans. 237-2888. That's 237-2888.
Mike Scott Plumbing. If water runs through it, we do it.
Now you've done it. Have you lost your mind? He's back. And you're listening again. A legend in his own mind. Don't believe me? Just ask him. Here's Tom Schmitz live on WOCA. The Source.
Welcome back to Ocala Talks. On a Wednesday, 352-622-9622 is the number. 352-622-9622 is the number to call if you want to be a part of the program. It's time now to give you some local news updates. Let me give you a road closure from the county. Fisher Road, if you live in the Fisher Road area, motorists can expect a temporary road closure along Fisher Road between intersections of Sequoia Trail and Sequoia Drive Terrace. It's going to start June 27th and go through July 8th. There'll be some pipe replacement under the roadway. Workers and equipment will be in the road. Barricades will be placed to detour traffic around the work area. If you got any questions or you want any more information, contact the Office of County Engineer at 352-671-8686. Again, that's 352-671-8686. That's the Office of County of Engineer. If you got any questions about the road closures that are going to take place on Fisher Road between the intersections of Sequoia Trail and Sequoia Drive Terrace starting June 27th through July 8th. Divers were out at Carney Island yesterday searching for a man who fell off a boat in the Lake Weir. He had 3 children with him, 8 to 12 years old. They were all on board and were unhurt. About 2:30 p.m. yesterday, Marion County Sheriff's Office received a call about a boat stuck on a lake with a man overboard. 2 boats were deployed by the Marion County Fire Rescue to search the lake. Also, Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission. Like I said, the children weren't harmed. 4:50 p.m., the Sheriff's Office recovery team was getting ready to deploy their sonar equipment. The 6th diver team took a break at 8 p.m., planned to return to the water. They've been searching roughly a half mile from the dock, which is where the boat remains. The reason, one of the things that's hampered them is the visibility is 3 to 5 feet. They've covered about 800 yards so far in their search, but they're, looking for a man who went overboard out at Carney Island, just off the dock out by Carney Island Recreation and Conservation Area on Lake Weir. So hopefully that there's some closure for the family soon with that search. Also, Citra yesterday. There was about 11:30 yesterday. The Sheriff Department was notified about a shooting on Northwest 22nd Court in Citra. Deputies showed up on the scene, found a deceased male. No more details have been supplied. Next of kin has been notified, but it's an ongoing investigation. But the man was shot to death in Citra. Anyone with information about this case is asked to call 732-9111. That's the Sheriff's Office line. Or you can remain anonymous by calling Crime Stoppers at 368-STOP. That's 368-STOP. It's Crime Stoppers anonymous hotline. The Sheriff's Office needs help in its investigation of the shooting death of a man in Citra. They found the deceased victim on Northeast 22nd Court in Citra about 11:30, 11:45 yesterday morning. So if you got any information or you know anything, call 732-9111 or Crime Stoppers at 368-STOP. So I want to get into also the local election stories. It was, we know that Don Browning, the incumbent, and Kelly King are not running again for school board. Kelly King said she believes in term limits, and she's been there for 8 years, and that's enough. So she's stepping aside to allow someone else to fill that position. Nancy Thrower, the incumbent, is running. But the school board, the school board is going to shake out, and how that the Don Browning seat is kind of interesting, how that's going to work out. I've met a couple of the candidates. One of the candidates is an older gentleman that is got some different views. His name escapes me right now. But the school board's shaping up to be one of those moments where you're like, it's the school board again. Here we go. The county commission, Kathy Bryant will face a write-in candidate as her competition. Carl Zalek, while there is a write-in candidate in the Carl Zalek race, he also faces two opponents who qualified, Rachel Sams and Keith Poole. We briefly touched on yesterday about the Republican Executive Committee meeting where they had a candidate forum, and all three of those candidates were present and took questions, the questions coming from the membership of the REC. I'm to understand they were not given the questions ahead of time, so they had to think on their feet. You got the take from that was that Carl Zalek is polished, but why wouldn't he be? He's been there 12 years. He is. They referred to him. The other two candidates kept referring to him as a career politician. He has a good grasp of what's going on in the county because he's been privy to the conversations with county staff and all, because he is the county commissioner. Mr. Poole has a very firm grasp on the contracting and building side of some of the issues that the county commission faces. As he should, he's a contractor. Got a little dicey between him and Mr. Zalek when the conversation came up about permitting. Mr. Zalek believes that the permitting office is doing a good job and that permits are getting out in a timely manner. And Mr. Poole goes, I don't know when the last time you were in the permit office, but that ain't what's happening. Miss Sams, she is a conservative Christian mom who wants to protect her children. She doesn't have a very good, from the questions that were asked at the meeting on Monday, she does not have a very good understanding of all the intricacies of the Office of County Commission. She's going to have to do some homework. If she wants to hold that position, she wants to convince voters she can do the job, she's going to have to come up to speed pretty quick. And she touts that she's a former police officer. She's now in investments. I don't know why. She left the police. I know why, but I'm not going to get into it right now, why she left the police force. But Carl Zalek people kept pointing out he's been there 12 years. What new ideas can he bring to the table? That's what the two candidates that are running against him kept pointing out. And, there is some merit to that argument. So it's going to be an interesting election cycle. It's going to be an interesting election season. Hopefully it'll stay civil. I would like for it to stay civil with everybody involved. But in this landscape of politics, I don't have faith that it's going to stay that way, but I'd like to think it will. But I encourage you to go out and seek out these candidates. Ask the tough questions. Ask land use questions. Ask infrastructure questions. Ask about the relationship with the county commission and the school board. How they answer it might surprise you. One of the candidates running for office literally came across as thinking the school board had to answer to the county commission. That ain't even close to the truth. They don't. The only people the school board answer to are the taxpayers that elect them and the governor's office. That's it. But one candidate seemed to think the county commission has some sort of control over the school board. They don't. But you wouldn't know that they thought that unless you asked the questions. So go out and ask the questions. You do have some, Sarah James is running for school board. She owns a pre-K and kindergarten institution here in town. She has a doctorate in education. Sarah James is one that go out and ask her what her vision is for the school board. See what these candidates have to say. Ask questions. Don't just blindly vote because you know the name or you like somebody. Don't call your neighbor and go, hey, who you voting for? I'll vote for them. Do the legwork. Do the homework. Figure out the best avenue. Because I know that Monday night was an eye-opener for me. For all three candidates. When I left, I was making notes in my notes to talk about on the radio, and some people, came across when I made these notes. I said I feel like I was really at a high school class popularity contest for class president when the event started before the questioning began. It was they did some. The questions were very good. Land use issue. Carl Zalek said that permitting isn't perfect, but continues to improve. Keith Poole basically said the permit officer cluster. I mean, he just come out. He goes, Mr. Zalek, you don't know what you're talking about. It's a cluster down there at the permit office. And Keith showed he definitely knows the building part of the job. And what I took from Miss Sams was she gives a lot of generalizations, news articles, and statistics. So it sounds like she knows what she's talking about, but it's just in circles. Carl, like I said, showed his years in office because he understood the questions, and he was able to be, with his polish, sound very good. But my major concern is are any of the candidates going to be able to, with the partnership of the other county commissioners, be able to address infrastructure? I think infrastructure issues are a big deal. One of our callers, Hugh, called in. He's concerned about the roadways at 35th and 36th. So am I. I know there's a plan. I went and looked at the county plan. I know there's plans to widen and everything. But I don't understand, and I'm asking the questions to bring them back to you. Why isn't the infrastructure done before the developments are done? Because if they're not I don't know how long it takes to build a road or widen a road or anything, but if they're done in concert with each other, is it because roads can be built faster, and so that way when the developments are finally done, the roads will have been done ahead of time, so there's no need to start the road widenings or the road work first? I don't know the answer to that, but I'm asking the questions, and I encourage you to ask questions of your candidates that are running as well. We'll take a break. We'll be back to wrap up hour number 2 of Ocala Talks, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
So many people here are getting real lasting joint pain relief from QC Kinetics.
QC Kinetics has changed my life.
I would recommend QC to anybody.
The work that QC Kinetics did paid off exponentially.
It brought me back to an effective age of almost in my 20s and 30s.
QC Kinetics uses cutting-edge regenerative medicine, natural biologics from your own body, precision treatments that can restore and repair damaged tissue in your aching joints, with no meds, no steroids, no drugs, and no downtime.
I got a very quick resolution to my pain.
It is a all-natural therapy. You're using you to fix you.
I got my life back. I got my smile back. And best of all, I got my laugh back.
Don't live with that pain anymore. And don't let them tell you surgery is your only option. Learn more about regenerative options from the local medical professionals at QC Kinetics. Call now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 352-400-4550. That's 352-400-4550. 352-400-4550.
Hello, I'm Mark Sears with Regency Printing. With over 10 years in the printing business, I know you'll find Regency Printing the place for all your local printing needs. Plus, I have fax services, mailbox rentals, notary service, U.S. mail, pack and ship, all at one convenient location, 2375 Northeast 25th Avenue. Just look for the yellow signs. Regency Printing, 789-6683. That's 789-6683. Regency Printing.
Shamrock Security Systems, 629-3223. Shamrock Security Systems is located here in Ocala, Florida. Shamrock Security Systems is a top-rated alarm company offering 24/7 monitoring, video surveillance, fire and flood